This is Eagle Owl, and today we're gonna go ahead and talk about Kellen Moore, accept the interviews. Also, Matthew Stafford, he sucks in bad weather. Lastly, Eagles got to fix the tackling issues going into this next game. But let's get straight into it. Right before we hop straight into it, shout out to today's sponsor, BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150, get 150% boost on your first deposit. And then on your next two deposits, you get 125% boost up to $2,000. Again, shout out to BetUS. And of course, bet on the Eagles, man. Bet it all on the Eagles. All right. So let's get into some of the topics or quick hits, I would call them. So Eagles need more respect. Eagles need more respect. Why do I say that? Because besides Eagles land, when you look at like 80% of the fans of other teams and look at the bet media, a lot of people want us to lose, man. A lot of people want the Eagles to lose because everybody want their dream matchup, golf versus Stafford for whatever reason. You know, those two traded and Matthew Stafford ended up getting the ring. Jared Goff, you know, he gave life to the Lions, and the Lions doing big things. But Eagles is in the way, according to them. But I think the Eagles need more respect, and I get it. We started the season 2-2. A lot of people was trying to compare it to 2023, but the win streak, a lot of people was overly criticizing. Our last game, a lot of people overly criticized. But I'm like, we got history now. Like, we got games to reflect on. I think it was the Panthers game. Didn't look good. Wasn't the best game by Jalen Hurts, but we won, right? People like, we need the passing game. A.J. Brown even came out, was like, it's the passing game. And then we went into that Steelers game. Passing game looked phenomenal. And that's a top tier defense. What Jalen Hurts threw for like 290, ran for like 30 yards. Saquon didn't have his best day. AJ went off that game. I think Smitty went off that game. Like, look, if we can turn it up in the pass game at any time. We just find multiple ways to win. And in the Green Bay game, it was just a Saquon and Dallas Goedert game. Let's call a spade a spade. And then the defense. We won multiple ways. And I just don't get it. We deserve more respect. And like, let's listen to what Dan Orlarski just gobble up the Rams.
You think that they're the most dangerous team left in the NFC, the Rams?
I do. I think they're the most dangerous team left in the NFC. Okay, so all right, who in the NFC has a coach who's led their team to the Super Bowl and won it? Sean McVay. Who in the NFC has a quarterback that's gone to the Super Bowl and won it?
Okay.
The Rams. What team in the NFC has a quarterback that has had one of the most clutch playoff runs in the history of the NFL? The Rams with Matthew Stafford. In the playoffs with Stafford, he's 5-1 together with Sean McVay. 5-1, 70% completion percentage, a passer rating of 111, 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's a killer in the playoffs. Okay, then you go to Kyren Williams. Kyren's a walking touchdown. When he's on the field, all he does is score touchdowns. He's a walking touchdown. This defense, after last year, and this is said with the endless amount of admiration, last year with Aaron Donald, who's one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of the NFL, they gave up 401 points. They had 15 takeaways and 44 sacks. This year, without Aaron Donald, this defense has given up 395 points. That's less than last year. They've gotten 22 takeaways. That's more than last year. And they've gotten 47 sacks. So we're talking about a defense that is a better unit this year than they were last year. They got a quarterback and coach that have done it. And I'm just telling everybody, I love Philadelphia. I think they're a fantastic football team. That quarterback and coach will walk into that building and saying, you got to come get us. We do not have to go beat you. You got to beat us. We've been there and done that. And that's why I think they're dangerous, because they're confident.
Look, man, that's most of the people's sentiment about the Rams. They just this stat team. And everybody keep comparing, like, you seen what they did to the Vikings, but everybody and their mama knew the Vikings were frauds. Everybody and their mama knew they was frauds. Everybody know the Vikings don't have the O-line that we have. Let's be honest. They don't. So I just simply don't understand why we not getting the respect. And we beat a good Green Bay Packers team, but Rams beat a fraud Vikings team and get all the respect in the world. Stop it. Stop it. All right. And let's talk about Eagles fans a little bit because we're taking a bad rap right now because what happened to the Green Bay Packers fan up in the stands or whatever. We know that story. But Eagles fans giving donating money to the victims of the wildfires in LA, and sad situation was going on in LA. I'm from the East Coast. A lot of people know I'm from Jersey, and I just couldn't imagine that happening. I know we had our tad bits of fires. I want to say like September, October. It was like some fires breaking out in the woods or whatever because we didn't get rain in like months. But what's going on in LA, that's a different beast. People losing their homes, people are passing away, and again, it's a sad situation. So shout out to the Eagles fans that's gathering money for a fundraiser and giving money to the victims, and I guess the people that's working the fires as well. I'm hearing it so bad, like they need people to volunteer and be firefighters or whatever. So again, prayers up for LA. And don't try to make us a story. I know I'm going off the limb a little bit, but don't try to make the Eagles a story for the Rams. Like, oh, it's going to be this magnificent story how the LA fires and now the team winning. And no, we're not about to be a part of that story. We're going to donate, we're going to help, and we're going to beat the shit out of the Rams. So please don't make us a part of, I don't know, some fairy tale story. All right. So let's get into the topics, okay? So let's talk about the Rams, right? The Rams, Matthew Stafford is 1-8 in bad weather, like 14-11. His passer rate is like 70. So safe to say Matthew Stafford is not good in snow. But to be honest, Eagles fans are pulling stats out the hat. Rams fans are pulling stats out the hat. Like Rams are undefeated coming off of short weeks or whatever, and betting sites like Bet US and more are saying, well, bet on the Rams because or for short weeks they are undefeated. No, don't listen to that. Listen to Eagle. Bet on the Eagles because we just simply the better team. Simple as that. And they coming into our element. It's not like Eagles fans are not going to show up because it's snowing. It's going to get loud. It's going to get crazy. Rams fans and bad enough they barely got fans. It's just going to be too much. I think it's going to be too much. The element. It's going to be too much, and just the team in general. I think it's going to be the same thing like the first time we played them, probably even worse because of the element. We're going to run the ball with that undersized D line. We're not the Vikings D O line. Jordan Mailata and stuff is going to get his stuff off on versing those guys. And then we're going to have Devontae Smith back, which makes us absolutely strong. And then the elements just in general just going to make our team absolutely too strong to handle. Again, our offense is going to be fully powered, especially with Devontae Smith. Rams fans are taking that, well, not taking that into consideration, not having Devontae Smith. Now you got more weapons against that secondary. They probably going to try to sell out on the run, but A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, especially the game A.J. Brown came off of, don't be surprised if he go off for like 2 tutties. And then Devontae Smith get like 1 or something like that. Then Dallas Goedert is the X factor and all this. Dallas Goedert is always the X factor. So look, Rams, don't sleep on this team, man. Especially with Matthew Stafford sucking, pause, in the snow games, rain games, bad weather games. Telling you this game can get ugly. It can definitely get ugly. But speaking of ugly stuff and stuff I don't like as a fan, it's Kellen Moore accepting interviews. And look, as a fan, again, I hate it. I don't like it, especially with the Cowboys on a Friday. And I think he got an interview on Saturday as well. I can't remember the team, but of course I put up the graphic. And this just giving me Jonathan Gannon vibes. That's just me as a fan. I hate to say it, but Jonathan Gannon wasn't focused. He couldn't adjust because he was so worried about his next gig. And I hope that don't happen with Kellen Moore. And again, I absolutely understand far as the business side. You only get a few job openings in the NFL for a head coach. And if you can get that job, go ahead and get it. Get your money. I know a lot of people using Cliff Kingsbury like, see, he not even a set the interviews, but he's still getting paid from the Cardinals and he's getting paid from Washington. So Cliff Kingsbury is fine financially, and he got the satisfaction of being the head coach. Whereas though we all knew Kellen Moore wants to be a head coach, but his last year in Dallas wasn't good. His year in Los Angeles wasn't good, and now this year, he got a top 10 offense, and Jalen Hurts and those guys look good. It's an up and down offense, but Kellen Moore is getting credit for what he's doing. So again, man, hate it as a fan, but the human side, business side, to me, completely understand. I just want him to be focused, because if he's not focused going into this game, it's going to be problems. We just said that's going to be problems in Philly. So man, best of luck to Kellen Moore. It's gonna suck. That's something we're gonna talk about going into the offseason if he accept the job. Like Jalen Hurts with another OC. So all I gotta say about that. All right, so last topic, small topic. It's something I definitely think we're gonna fix, but the tackling issues. Yes, if you watch the playoff game, a lot of people was talking about how great the defense was, and they were great to hold the Green Bay Packers to 10 points, interceptions, fumbles. But 22 missed tackles is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. That's something we have to fix going into this Rams game, because if we don't, I won't say we'll lose or get blown out or whatever, but you give Rams a legit shot to win if you miss too many tackles. And I think Vic Fangio knows this. Like, we got to fix that. We can't be missing tackles, because if you miss tackles, you give the team opportunities. And I get it, Josh Jacobs is a different beast. He probably missed 11 tackles on him just alone, right? Where he was breaking tackles. But again, man, we got to fix that, and hopefully we do. It just, I don't know. I just didn't like the tackling of what I was seeing. It looked like the first couple weeks that we had, but now, we've been great at tackling, but it's just that last game feel like we reverted back to the last couple weeks. Even on the offensive side, a lot of people talking about Jalen Hurts and stuff being rusty, but it feel like the whole team was rusty, besides Dallas Goedert, because he played against the Giants, and he got his momentum going. But overall, I think the whole team was somewhat rusty. But we're going to this Rams game basically fully healthy without N'Kobe Dean. It hurts my heart. Of course, without Brandon Graham, who, messed up his elbow in the Rams game. So there's some things we got to fix on the defensive side of the ball. Not minor, because if we could get the tackling right, we are good. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Fixing the tackling issues. Kellen Moore, Eagles fans and Eagles just need more respect in general. But again, shout out to Bet US, and this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.